I love science. I love trying to understand the objective reality we all live in, what makes it work and why. But science can be abused, and I'm not talking about in the Frankensteinian sense, but in warping the scientific method to control the masses. Let me explain. With the rise of the Industrial Revolution, people left the small towns and farms and congregated in big cities, thus giving rise to mass urban populations. It was also during this period that God died, meaning the rise of atheism and the decline of a symbolic life. In a sense, people began to disconnect from their psyches. And this had a greater effect upon Western civilization than most think. It was as if the manual for the upkeep of society had been ripped to shreds. Now, I'm not saying one needs to believe in God to be a decent person. No, an individual can live a very whole, meaningful life without belief in an invisible sky daddy. But a society, on the other hand, needs a basic framework, a manual. And whether we want to admit it or not, the Judeo-Christian tradition was that framework for Western civilization. Even though there had been countless horrors committed in the name of religion, at the same time it gave the individual the ability to be a part of a symbolic life, finding meaning in metaphor, thus having a better connection with the subconscious. But with the decline of religious thought, which has been a part of who we are since the beginning of time, there came a vacuum. And as we all know, the universe or nature abhors a vacuum. So what replaced religion in the psyche of the masses? Political extremism, such as Marxism, fascism, Nazism, and so on. And whether we realize it or not, these are examples of using the scientific method to control the masses. Instead of allowing a gradual blossoming of new societal frameworks based upon the rights of the individual, the intelligentsia saw society as consisting of a mass of soulless things, parts of a whole, things to be experimented upon to reach a greater good. So, where does the left-hand path fit into all this? By helping you face the bitter truth of who you are through a reconnection to that symbolic life of myth and metaphor. That by utilizing occultic tools you can once more commune with the gods and monsters, thus coming to that revelation of the evil within, knowing your shadow, thereby allowing you to understand the self in its totality, to bring about what Carl Jung called individuation. The left-hand path is where you come to understand that you are an individual, sovereign, that you are the only thing that matters in the greater philosophy of the self. Politics is the sad residue of philosophy, so it is foolish to allow yourself to be a faceless pawn manipulated for a political cause. It is much healthier for the true individual to follow the left-hand path where you are the cause.